Hello and welcome to Quays News. I'm Lucy Davenport.
And I'm Tina Perusa. Here's what's coming up on the programme today.
Salford Lads Club is now at risk of closure.
It is National Recycling Week and we will be finding out about new recycling laws being put into place throughout Greater Manchester.
It is World Recycling Week and today marks major changes of what you can recycle in Greater Manchester. I'll be telling you more later on in the show.
And Manchester's half marathon saw around 24,000 people cross the finish line.
Salford Lads Club has been a lifeline for young people from deprived communities for 120 years. But now the club itself is one in desperate need of help. Our reporter, Evie Griffiths, is there now. What can you tell us, Evie?
Salford Lads Club, where behind me there's a wall with the names of all the members from here up until 2016. There's around 21,000 names here. The Salford Lads Club has been a vital place for young children in deprived areas for many decades, based here on Coronation Street in Ardstill, where 46% of young children come from low-income families. But costs have begun to rise and the club is running out of money. The club used to rely on large grants to help fund them, but these funds have dropped as the market has become quite competitive. The club has made a plea for £250,000 to be raised before the end of November. If this money is not raised, they may have to close their doors indefinitely.
And do we have an idea what these funds will be used for specifically?
Firstly, the club needs around £108,000 to cover monthly losses for 6 months while they look for other funds. A further £50,000 will be raised for new staff to do this. They imagine another £98,000 is required to replenish reserves. It's important to the community here that these funds are raised. Laura Slingsby, who works as the head of youth operations, has said, "We've always been careful stewards of the funds we receive, investing in high-quality youth work and staff." She also explained that today's mission is more relevant than ever, as many of the young people we serve face challenges like gang culture, poverty and lack of opportunity. Without services like this, it makes it very unclear of what the future holds for deprived children in communities just like this one.
Thank you for that report, Evie. So, Tina, did you know that before today you couldn't recycle yoghurt pots?
I did not know that, Lucy.
Well, Emma Nelson went to find out more about what you can now recycle.
This week is World Recycling Week and today on the 14th of October it marks major changes in regards of recycling in Greater Manchester. The boroughs of Bolton, Manchester, Stockport, Bury, Oldham, Rochdale, Salford, Thameside and Trafford will now be able to recycle a wider range of plastic items in their household mixed recycling bin.
Previously, only plastic bottles could be recycled at home, but now there are a lot more things you can recycle. Specifically,
plastic pots like yogurt pots, soup pots and cosmetics, and plastic tubs like margarine, laundry powder, etc. and plastic trays. But you can still not recycle things like crisp packets. Very, very important to remember. Councillor Tom Ross said, "We are already in the top 5 authorities in the UK for recycling rates and this will help us continue leading the way."
The rise of sustainable vintage fashion and buying second-hand clothing has become more popular in recent years. There are also many benefits that come with it. Our reporter, Tabitha Crowther, tells us more.
Second-hand and vintage clothing are becoming way more popular as in the past decade buying used fashion has become normalised and even glamorised with the help of social media. For younger people, the trend is being driven by the ease of digital second-hand shopping at sites such as Vinted and Depop. Older shoppers are more likely to buy in physical stores such as charity shops and specialist boutiques, and there is now a greater availability of pre-loved on the high street as mainstream retailers experiment with hosting second-hand sellers.
I shop second-hand just because you can get vintage clothes, which are definitely more my style. When you go in second-hand clothing shops as well, things you could buy in the normal shop that you can find in there are like £20 when I could buy them for £100, which obviously helps me as well. because they're all just as good clothing.
There are many benefits to shopping second-hand clothing, as they have a hugely positive social and environmental impact, as they reduce carbon emissions, save lots of resources, water, energy, and can also save you a lot of money.
On the topic of sustainability on the rise, stores are now taking a more eco-friendly approach to selling furniture, helping you cherish your home and the environment.
Now let's just table the puns for now, and here is Sydney Shaw with this report.
Sustainability has been gaining popularity within the last few years, with platforms such as Vinted rising to 596 million in sales last year, according to The Guardian. Pre-loved pieces of furniture are now becoming increasingly popular in homes everywhere, offering a practical way to save money whilst also helping the environment. Furniture Warehouse in Trafford aims to push sustainability by giving institutions the opportunity to recycle furniture.
We distribute stuff which is of lower value, but we keep it and give it a house, and that might go to Africa or homeless shelters or things like that.
Along with the shop, the company also have a 10,000 square foot warehouse where they can distribute lower value items that still have use.
The cost of handling a large piece of furniture usually outweighs the second-hand value. The majority of the supply of furniture is very low grade. It's also flat packed, so they can post their stuff, whereas the things we tend to handle, which are higher quality, the stuff that will last, the stuff that can go on to be used, it isn't postable. The problem there being that if we've got a sofa that we have to get in one piece from a premises through the warehouse, maybe online to sell it on eBay or something, pay the fees on it, and then the customer might be in Leeds, we've got 150 quid worth of handling. And if you say, the sofa's £200, they say, but I can get a new one on Amazon for £199.
Despite the negatives of costly transportation, recent research shows that eco-friendly furniture is predicted to grow significantly, with statistics from the EIN Presswire suggesting it will reach 5.25 billion by 2024 and increase to 7.35 billion by 2029. Sustainable furniture is making a stylish impact in homes everywhere, and it's not just about the look. With second-hand furniture such as this, you're not just sitting pretty, you're standing up for the planet. Sydney Shaw, Quays News.
It's been a busy week for local sport. Crowds of rugby fans were gathered at Salford Quays on Saturday, enjoying some food or drink ahead of Wigan and Hull KR's big clash. Our sports presenter Anna is with us now. How did the game go?
Thanks, Lucy. Yes, it was a historic day at Old Trafford on Saturday with the Super League Grand Final.
And now, a Grand Final. This is a Wigan side that is one for the ages. All 4 major trophies in 1 year. Unprecedented. A hug from
That
the
was
old
Wigan
coach.
Warriors winning 9-2. Against Hull KR in the showpiece event. Warriors became the first ever rugby league team to win all 4 major trophies in a year. The World Cup Challenge, the Challenge Cup, the League Leaders Shield, and now the Grand Final Super League. Let's move on to the start of the basketball season. Manchester's women's basketball had their first game of the season on Saturday against Nottingham Wildcats. It was the scene of celebration with Manchester's win of 93-62.
And at the end of the game.
Now, it was a big weekend when it came to football yesterday. Women's Mancunian Unity won 3-1 at home against Leeds United in the 3rd round of the Adobe FA Cup qualifiers. Cheadle women won 7-0 against Cosette in the Women's FA National League. That puts them up to 4th in the league. Now, Altringham's men faced the Solihull Moors on Saturday for the 4th round qualifiers. It ended in a 1-1 draw, meaning a replay will take place tomorrow to determine who will progress into the 1st round of the FA Cup. Manager Phil Parkinson shared his feelings after the match.
I wasn't really happy with the overall performance. I expect us to be far more front foot, far more of a goal threat. I didn't think we did that enough. So as I said, a really tight affair. We got a draw, and I just expect to see far more from my team, and I will, because they're a great bunch of lads, but I've thrown down the gauntlet to them in there.
Tonight is the FA Cup 1st round draw. Teams such as Salford City, Curzon Ashton, Oldham Athletic eagerly await to see who they will face. The draw will take place at 7 p.m, and we'll have the latest on that in tomorrow's broadcast. That's all from me today. Back to you, Lucy.
Thank you, Anna. Now, after a weekend of wet weather, especially during the grand final where the rain definitely attempted to dampen Wigan's win, Mariana Diaz is here to tell us what the rest of the week has in store.
Good afternoon. It has been a very autumnal, slightly windy but overall dry day in the northwest. Tomorrow will start with cloudy skies, some brighter breaks but remaining dry with highs of 14 degrees by late afternoon. Now, great news for the rest of the week. Although windy, temperatures will rise into late teens by Wednesday. Just a tip, you might want to bring an umbrella with you, as the warmer weather has come to stay. Themes seem a little messy, with the odd shower here and there travelling from the southwest. Temperatures ranging from 9 to 18 degrees on Wednesday, with some overcast skies. Thursday and Friday temperatures will reach 16 and 14 degrees. Over the weekend, falling to 13 on Saturday and then rising once again on Sunday to 16 degrees.
Yesterday saw many thousands of runners take to the streets of Manchester for the half marathon. It is one of the biggest fundraising events in the city's calendar. Many ran in aid of charities and others simply took part for personal achievements. Our reporter Mikolai Machkoviak listened to some of their stories.
Pounding the pavements of Manchester and raising money, thousands hit the streets for Manchester's half marathon, the route which took them from Old Trafford to the city centre and back to the stadium. For many runners, there was a personal reason for taking part.
I'm actually running for my auntie, who actually sadly lost her life to cancer just over 2 weeks ago now, and she knew I was training for this for her, and yeah, I just wanted to do it in memory of her, and I've got her name on my hand as well to keep me going when it gets hard.
We're here at Manchester's half marathon today, where over 24,000 runners are embarking on the 13.1 mile journey, raising funds for charities close to their hearts.
I'm running on behalf of my partner's granddad, who recently battled through colon cancer, had a major surgery at the age of mid-80s and came out the other side.
I'm running for charity for the Alzheimer's Society because my granddad has vascular dementia and he was diagnosed in 2016, so I'm running for him. But yeah, he doesn't know who any of us are now, so... But yeah, I mean, if this money can go towards helping another family, then it's worth it.
It is expected that yesterday's event will raise over £1 million. And whilst there's a story behind every pound given to charity, the causes impact everyone.
Cancer is such a universal thing that, everybody knows somebody who's had cancer. So I feel like it's so important to have events like these because it just helps you to feel like you're not alone as well. Events like this, you don't have to be like a marathon runner usually. Anybody can start and begin.
For many, it's an emotional day, but the smiles say it all.
And that's all we have time for today, but keep up to date with Quays News on our social media @Quays News.
Tune in tomorrow at 4:30. Goodbye.